Hi students, today we're going to talk about simple interest. Interest is something that we talk about when we talk about basic loans like for your car or your home, or let's say you're going to go to college or take out a business loan. So what interest is for example, let's say that you're going to go to college, but you can't pay thousands and thousands of dollars up front to pay for your college. So what you're going to need to do is take out a loan. But loans are not free. So the bank says, yeah, we'll loan you money so that you can go to college, but then you're going to have to pay a monthly fee back to us. That fee that you have to pay, that's called interest. It works the same way for a loan, like if you want to take out a car or if you're going to buy a home or start a business. It's kind of like extra money that you have to pay in order to borrow money from someone. Now there's also a good type of interest. A good type of interest would be like if you have a savings account at a bank. When you use the bank, what the bank does is, as a thank you, they give you a little bit of money. Believe me, it's just very, very small. But if you put money in their bank, they give you a little bit back every month, kind of as a thank you. So that's what interest is all about. So how you calculate interest is you use the formula I equals P times R times T. I stands for the interest, so that's the amount of money that you're earning if it's a savings account, or let's say it's the amount of money that you have to pay when you are taking out a loan. The principal is the amount of money that you put in, so let's just think of it like a savings account. The amount of money that you're putting into the savings account. The rate is a percent, but as we know, we can't use percents in math problems. We have to change them to decimals. And then T stands for the amount of time that you're going to keep the money in the account, and that needs to be written in years. So let's take a look at this first example. If you deposit $500 in a savings account for 1 year at 1.5% interest, how much money in interest will you earn? So what we're going to do is we're going to use our formula here. Remember, the formula is I equals PRT, the principal times the rate times the time. So the interest is what we don't know. That's what we're solving for. The principal is how much money we're putting in. We are depositing $500. We need to multiply that by the rate, written as a decimal. So remember, to do that, we divide by 100. So that gives us 0.015. That's what we're going to use for our rate. And how much time are we keeping our money in the savings account? 1 year. All right, so let's go ahead and calculate it. We're going to multiply these numbers together, and we get $7.50. So yeah, over an entire year, you only get $7.50 back. Hey, but it's better than nothing. All right, let's go ahead and try another one. If you deposit $1,000 into a savings account for 6 months at 3% interest, how much interest will you earn? Let's start with our formula again. The interest is what we are solving for, so we don't know how much interest we're getting. We know that we're putting $1,000 into the account. The rate is 3%. That would be 0.03. And the amount of time is 6 months. So remember that the time has to be in years, though. So 6 months is really like 6 out of 12 months. So that's 1/2. So we're going to put 0.5. And so when we go ahead and multiply this all together, we find that we make $15. All right, now it's your turn. Go ahead and try the next problem. You're going to deposit $1,250 at 12% interest for 2 months. Go ahead and pause the video, try the problem, and then play the video to check your answer. All right, let's see how you did. So our formula, we're going to plug in our principal, which is $1,250, our rate, 0.12, and 2 months, that would be 2 out of 12. which is 1/6. So we need to write that as a decimal. That is 0.16 repeating. So that's what we're going to put in right here. So when I go ahead and multiply all of these together, I get $25. Hopefully you got the same. All right, let's look at this next problem. You borrowed $250 from your family. After 6 months, you pay back the $250 plus $10 in interest. What is the annual simple interest rate? So on this one, we actually already know the interest. It's the rate that we don't know. Well, let's just start with our formula again. And I know that you know how to solve equations because we've done this before. So let's go ahead and plug in what we know. How much interest are we paying? $10. What is the principal? How much money did you borrow? $250. The rate is what we don't know because it says what is the annual simple interest rate? And how much time did we spend borrowing this money? 6 months, so that would be a half of a year. All right, so let's start by simplifying this half of the equation. Let's take 250 times 0.5. That would be 125. So we have 125 times what is equal to 10. So it's kind of like a river problem. So we want to solve for the rate, which means we're going to divide by 125 on both sides. This gives us a rate of 0.08. But we know that rates have to be written as a percent, and that's just a decimal. So to write a decimal as a percent, we multiply by 100 or move that decimal point over 2 places. So our final answer is 8%. All right, you go ahead and try the next one. Go ahead and pause the video. All right, let's see how you did. So we have the amount of interest is $16. The principal is $400. The rate is what we don't know, and we know it's been 1 year. So let's simplify this side of our equation first. 400 times 1, that's 400. R equals 16. Now we're going to solve for R, so divide by 400. This gives us 0.04, which is 4%. All right, nice job. That is simple interest.